States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did we have anybody sign up? No.
Make sure we talk to Mr. Wilson. Make sure we
You just have to ask. All right. I don't think we had anybody sign up for visitors, but we do have Mr. Whittlesey. We'll go ahead and...
He did sign.
Oh, okay, he did sign. About the drug classes at school?
Yes.
All right. The floor is yours.
We have a great opportunity in the school to really get in on this category. We had open house at our church, congregation church, and not one person ever showed up. At the school, we get kids that captive audience. I don't mean one class or two classes. They have these 3 classes a week on drugs. And we need to put in a wall in the hallway. The thing is a memorial to those who lost, who we have lost. You want to say to judges who we have lost. And I've talked to parents who have lost their children, and they would be okay with that. Because that shows the rest of the kids how dangerous that stuff is. Because all their friends are there on that wall. And the school has a great opportunity here to step in and stop what's happening. Because we're losing a lot of good kids. And it's up to us. If we're going to get there, we got to stop it.
Thank you.
Can I respond to that real quick?
Yes.
Just to follow, and I agree with you, Mr. Wilson, thank you for that. And we talked a little bit beforehand, we are actually engaged in the process of getting a grant, a countywide grant with the other school, all the school districts, public school districts in the county. We've had some red tape that's slowed down the process of getting a drug counselor / mental health counselor to come in. We're going to be sharing someone with Rootstown. We're hoping by January we'll have that person come in and spend a couple days a week with us and a couple days a week with Rootstown. And there's going to be all kinds of possibilities to educate and to be proactive and maybe even work a little bit with Rootstown, work hand in hand with them as well. So we're excited about that, and I agree with you. We need to do more, a lot more, and we're working on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody?
Mr. Whittlesey, I wanted to, I'll let everybody know, we do have a drug prevention program, the DARE program, that runs in our 6th grade classes. And every year the school resource officers, Amy Poppy-Tikus and Mark Milhoff, they run that for us in 6th grade. In 8th grade, we run an it's called RSVP, I forget what that stands for, but they also have a drug prevention component in the information that they do with 8th grade students. And we're also going to be bringing in Town Hall 2 for a drug prevention program in grades 4 and 5 starting in October. And they may be doing some stuff with the like 2nd and 3rd grade kids. I mean, it's all age appropriate. You know, there's some things you can't talk to 2nd graders about, but that's going to be starting in October, and that's like a 10-time. That's going to go through our rotation of specials classes here in the library. Mrs. Green is shaking her head because she probably knows more about it than I do. But anyway, so there are things here and there. It might not be real visible to the community, but we are doing those kind of things and bringing in as much resources as we can in the school. We also had, now that I think of it, Travis Bornstein from Breaking Barriers. He was a guest speaker that came in the spring for the middle school and shared the story of his son's tragic overdose from heroin, and really gave a powerful message about staying away from all of that garbage.
Well, that's good news. I'm glad to hear it. The school has a great opportunity here to beat the drugs, because we got to beat them.
Sure.
Because we have them, we've been losing. But the opportunity is right here because the kids are captive.
Mm-hmm. No, we agree with you on that.
All right. No, we'll move on then to our student liaison. A couple years ago, we had Victoria Carpenter was our student liaison, and I felt that we needed to bring that back this year because the board can only remember so much of sports, and now that I don't have a kid playing any, it's rough. I can't remember, so we're going to hand it over to Amanda Strainer.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Strainer. I'm the public relations of the senior class. And right now our sports are doing pretty well since school started. Our volleyball team is actually undefeated in our league right now. Featuring them over there. We're 8-1 in our regular season. The soccer team, they're struggling a little bit, but they're trying their best and putting their effort forward. They're 1-7 right now. And the football team has only played 3 games, but they're coming around with 1-2 as their record. And the band actually has a competition coming up on Saturday. It will be at Louisville High School at the stadium. It's on Saturday, and it's our first performance, so if you want to stop out, it starts at 6. If you look around the school, the pep club has been putting around some awesome signs. There's some up in the gym, in the cafeteria, supporting all the schools. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, by all means, you do not have to stay for the whole meeting or the volleyball team.
Thank you, everyone.
Practice.
Thank you.
Thanks, girls. Thanks, Josh.
My favorite part now of our meeting. All right, can I get a roll call?
Terry? Here. Brock?
Here.
Fletcher?
Here.
Whittlesey?
Here.
Gum?
Here.
Can I get a motion to accept the agenda for September 14th, 2017, regular meeting?
So moved.
Okay. Roll call?
Gum?
Yes.
Whittlesey?
Yes.
Fletcher?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Brock?
Yes. I'm gonna hold off on the president's report and chime in probably
Okay.
on you. Yeah, because I think we're gonna hit on the same.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
So it's me.
so it's you.
Okay, before we get to that, I want to introduce Barbara. She is our food
Service director.
advisor, director.
Guru.
She does a very good job. We're very pleased with the work she and her ladies do every day. I eat salad there every day. I try to. Sometimes I fall off and eat other foods, but I try to stay connected with the healthy stuff they offer, and she does a great job. But she wanted to give a quick presentation here tonight for us.
We have to do it.
Yeah.
We actually thought you'd have brought us something from the cafeteria.
Well, that was
Next
against
year.
regulations. Okay, we are required to present to the Board of Education every year that we follow the National School Lunch Program and the National School Breakfast Program, which we do. We implement offer versus serve. The menus meet the requirements for calories, sodium, and saturated fat. They meet the amounts of fruit and vegetables that are appropriate for age groups and their subgroups, and all of our a la carte items meet the requirements for all foods sold in schools, as do the vending machines. So, if anybody needs a packet or wants to know what the meal pattern is, I think I made it for you in years past. Nothing has changed, so we're good. The other thing I printed off for you, there were some news reports at the beginning of the school year that, schools should all be serving free lunches because they have kids on free and reduced. That's not exactly how it is. You have to have like 90% of your kids on free and reduced, and we are currently at 41% of our population is free and reduced. So we're a long ways from ever being all kids being free in our district.
Did you say 31 or 40?
41. That's free and reduced combined for the whole district. So
Thank
all I
you.
got. See,
All right.
short and simple.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next thing I'd like to talk about very quickly is about our levy. We had a meeting last week. We had about 20 people show up to that, and I was pretty pleased with the turnout. For being September, early September, we had 20 people show. And we're going to do this a couple more times, a few more times, to try to get more and more people involved. We have what we've decided to do is to change our approach a little bit and try to get more community people involved. It's been very heavy laden with the people who are deeply connected to the school district. So We have two co-chairs. We're very lucky to have these two. Angela Bennett is one. She's a graduate. I said she was an '06 graduate, but she's a '98 graduate, I believe. She has two little children. She's the daughter of an employee here at Meeting Saltzman. She's got great energy, very, just very prepared and eager to help and to get the word out. She's very committed to Waterloo schools, and we're happy to have her on board. The other one is, in my mind, is a legend. It's Bob Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, he is a teacher here, but he is also, as you know, he is deeply ingrained in the community. We felt like with those two, we could really help get the word out and try to just have that discussion with the people who aren't sure whether they're going to vote yes or no in November, and get them to vote for the school district. Speaking of that, we have a couple meetings coming up. We have one on September 26th. If anybody's invited, everybody out there is invited. September 26th at 6:30. We'll be in the cafetorium. And we have another one on October 10th, also at 6:30. And one is kind of a brainstorming. I think 26 will be more for brainstorming, to come up with committees and things that we can do to help get the word out. The other being more of a informational meeting. October 10th is more of an informational meeting. We probably presented a little bit too long. We were all very excited to talk about some of the things that we had to talk about. I would shorten that up a little bit and spend more time, game planning and talking about the things that we can do to get the word out. So, nice turnout, very well done by Mrs. Bennett and Mr. Hamilton.
I don't want to leave Katie out. She's been.
And Katie also helped with the information. Todd also did a great job presenting, so we were lucky to have everybody involved, and we appreciate the effort. This levy, like before, we're asking for 8.25 mils. We broke it down. It comes down to 79 cents per day. It is a sacrifice, and we understand that, but we also understand that the loss of this is too great for our students, and we are willing to take that argument to the streets. We're going to do that very soon, but it's November 7th. And 79 cents per day. And if you want to find out more, 126 or October 10th. Thank you.
Can I dovetail?
You should. Of course.
Just wanted to add, we have t-shirts for sale. I brought them with me. They seem to be going everywhere I go. So if you see me in the middle of the road, just wave me down. I've got t-shirts in my car. It's one of the fundraising events for the levy.
They're $12.
Yeah, they're $12. We have small, medium, large, and extra large. So we have a full assortment of sizes. And please see me for one of those. And then, like Sean mentioned, the meeting we're going to have on the 26th, we really need to get a lot of people there we're going to break out into committees and start figuring out what, get our work together so that we can actually get out there and start attacking what we're going to do to promote the levy. So we need a lot of energetic people. We'd love to have the same amount of staff as we've always had, and add in the community, more community members to it. So, we just every person we can get. The more people we have, the more that we can do. We got a big deficit to turn around, so please come and help.
Yeah. Yes.
Since we're talking about the levy, I'd like to make a couple comments. I myself did not hear about the levy until about a week before the election. I don't know how you guys try to get the message out. I don't get the record carrier. I don't have a home computer. I don't have a cell phone. And only time I really go into Randolph is if I'm dropping off my recyclables at the recycling spot. And if I do come to downtown, I'm more paying attention to my traffic and making my turns and stuff than I am to anything that might be on the signboard. So I don't know how you guys tried to get the word out the last time. But like I said, I heard about it on NIR about a week before, and I got a call the night before from somebody at the Tea Party.
Are you talking about just this last levy?
In August, yes.
Because the levy that fell prior to that, we sat here, we've put it out, that the levy will continue to go on our ballot, and I'm here to tell you right now, if it does not fail, or does fail this next time, it will continue to go on the levy. There's a couple other
Well, no, I'm just saying, I don't know how you got the message out between the before the August, whatever election.
It goes out in the
Like I s-
paper.
Like I say, I don't get the Record Courier. I don't have a computer. I
Okay,
don't
my
have a
question
cell
is,
phone.
if you don't get the Record Courier, you don't have social media, you don't have kids in the district, you don't go to Randolph, the only thing I can offer you is personally take your phone number and call you like I do several people. I mean, I hate, it's like a tough battle with,
Well, that's
when
what,
we're
I
not.
don't know, maybe if you send out flyers or whatever,
We are
because if
looking-
you did, I didn't get it, because I haven't missed election in 4 years.
We're hoping this time we do hit more of that, sending out flyers, trying to get, but even when we do that, we're still gonna get that one person that comes in here that does not get it.
You know what, if I can answer your question too, with the things that we did, just so you know, I mean, we were limited, we did do mailings, okay?
Costs money.
Because we're not passing levies, we run on a tight budget, and so we simply didn't have enough money to do mailings for the entire community. So we had to pick and choose where, you know, the places we tended to do with the families who were connected with the school. I won't lie, but that's why we just didn't have the money. We just don't have the money to do that. We did rely more on social media, and if you're not on social media, that's okay. We did do all calls, but again, that's for people throughout the district. We had signs throughout many of the yards, and we did do a number of articles in the newspaper. Now, what you're doing right now, to answer your question, you're doing it. How do you find out about it? You're coming to board meetings, you know, you're tuning in, you're asking questions, so I suspect from here on out, you'll never miss one or come close to it again.
I don't know about making board meetings.
But
I'm
if you-
on board tonight, so I have to get up to be here.
But if you don't read the Record Courier, and you don't read the Alliance Review, the Beacon Journal, and you're not online, I mean, you're doing what you have to do to find out. You're coming to the source.
And we're not getting what you're saying, it's just not the levy. We get it with, you know, just the older generation that doesn't have all that. We get it. And, I mean, the only thing I can do is just add you to that other list that I have and personally call you when I think it's information that you might want to know.
Now, we are looking at, since we're making a bigger push this time, we're looking at the feasibility of doing a mailing to the whole entire community. However, like Sean mentioned, the levy has to be self-funded. We can't pull funds from the school district to support, to fund the levy, and we don't have any funds in the school district anyhow to do that. So, you know, a mailing could be $600-700, Tom. So we're hoping to get fundraising,
T-shirts
and things like that, donations to be able to afford to do that. And then also, if we get enough people that are interested in our on the 26th with our various committees, we're looking at maybe a door-to-door committee and maybe a phone calling committee, which, you know, that's what everybody in the world needs, is another person calling them.
Yeah.
So the door-to-door, I think, is actually a little better than the phone calls. But so we're hoping to get enough people in our committees to be able to do that.
I will say this, though, I do appreciate you coming to the meeting, and that kind of a voice that you're bringing to the meeting, those kind of concerns are concerns that have haunted us in previous campaigns. So, you know, your input is kind of from a different perspective that we can really value that input, and maybe your ideas on what can get out there to those people that may be in the same situation as you are, the same circumstances that you know, maybe those, you have insight on how to hit those voters that maybe we are not looking at. So I appreciate you coming to the meeting. So.
Well, I want to say what I said the other night at Tuesday's meeting. When I was in the ballot booth and seeing what it was and doing the math, to me, it looked like it was going to add $1,000 more a year on my property taxes. And my house is not $100,000, it's above $100,000. But at the meeting, it showed that it was basically going to be $25-30 a month. The way it's worded on the ballot, and if you do the math, it looks like $1,000, you know, $825 being added to your property taxes, when it's only $250, $275 a year.
And when you told me that, you know, that has stuck with me, and I've thought about that a number of times, how we can combat that, because going into the ballot booth is no time to be, you know, trying to figure out what it's going to cost you.
Well, if
You
all
know,
levies,
so-
whether it be for the library or for the
Yeah.
health or for the fire department, whatever. If it would say on there, if your house is $100,000, it will cost you this amount more each month. I bet you a lot more levies, no matter what they are, would pass. Because people are sitting there saying it's, you know, an 8.2 mil levy, and oh my God, it's gonna put $100,000 in my tax in a year. I can't afford that, and so they don't know.
Yeah, and and I think we have to address that. I really do. I don't like the idea of there being any confusion going into the ballot box. And it has to be something that's common sense that people can relate to. If it's 79 cents a day, then we need to push that 79 cents a day so that they understand, you know, exactly, well, if it's 79 cents a day with my property, you know, how much is that gonna cost me per year? And that should put you in the real ballpark for that. Whereas the ballot language that we have very little control over tends to confuse. I know that I've been in the ballot box many times where I've read the issue just to reread it, although I've looked at it before, and it's almost like I'm not reading what I had already intended to vote for.
And that is a big thing, because I can see people going in there, they're listening to the school's saying it's this, but then they're going in the ballot and doing exactly what you did. Well, this isn't what the school said, even though the way, I mean, it is, but when you go in there, you're thinking, that's not what the school just told us.
Like I said to Brian,
Yeah.
you can put in all that whole way they wanted to doing it now. But if you had another paragraph down below and said, if you're $100,000, your house is $100,000, it'll cost you this much more each month. Whether it was for the school, for the health levy, for a library, whatever.
And although we may not have control of the ballot to do that, maybe we can take the initiative through our informational committees and things of that nature to make sure that that's clear.
And that's one of the things that we've tried to do, is because there is a lot of confusion about it, and it's not really one of the most interesting subjects. I mean, we could start talking about how millage works and how House Bill 920 and rollbacks and school tax, and probably within 15 minutes, everybody in the audience will be asleep or at least glazed over when they're listening. So it's hard. It's one of those. It's a difficult thing to understand, and it's also kind of dry to talk about. So what we've done on the we've made up these one-page handouts that have facts as far as like describes what is a mill and all those kind of things, and about how much it's going to cost and what our money goes for and all those things. And then there's a longer version. This is a one-page handout. We have a 4-page version of this on our website, the levy website, which is wearewaterloo.org. So unfortunately that doesn't help you, Tom, because you don't have the email, but I'll make sure you get a copy of this. I'll drop it off at your house. A copy of this and a copy of the four-pager.
Did you get that at the meeting?
I got the small one
I'll
here.
get you the 4-pager too.
Okay.
Actually, I may print out most of the stuff that's on our levy, on our ballot, on our website, and drop it off, because I mean, Tom's very involved in his area with the KSC Hall and all that kind of stuff, and you could become a really big help to us by helping people that don't understand, may have the same confusion as you do. I mean, it's not a common knowledge kind of thing, unless, if I wouldn't be on the school board, I would. I mean, I didn't understand it before I got on there. I'm going to do that. So.
And you're probably not understanding it much better now that you've been on the school board.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, because I can go through that and look at those informational, and you will get the glaze. And we're very invested in this, but it's still it's something that you need to simplify. So the more simple it is, the easier it's going to translate to our voters.
Okay, one more thing, or anything else? I didn't mean to cut any of you off. That's it? Yes, sir.
You have a great opportunity here again, using people in the school. In the upper grades, maybe you ought to get them involved and say, hey, this is for you. How can we get this ballot passed? How can we get this thing done? Let them come up with some ideas, and let them go out and push your parents. I mean, tell what's for them, and let them be your advertiser. All the kids want it, and that would help you a great deal. There's not enough of them really, but every little bit helps.
Yes, it does.
We need it. By the way, I did vote for both of them, yes.
And we will use that idea, no doubt about that. Ms. Sandell, you hear that back there?
Yes, I do, sir.
All right, all right. So, one more thing. I want to introduce a new teacher we have. This is Jack Edwards, former Marine and a longtime carpenter. He's teaching our students graphic arts and industrial arts, wood shop. And so far, I think it's been going very well. This is Jack Edwards, and thank you for coming tonight. He wanted to introduce himself to you all. So there he is.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report? Nothing? High school update?
Good evening, everyone. Just a few quick things here. We don't have Pride cards yet because it's September, so we roll the few we get the first couple of days of August into September, and then we'll start them in October. So they're accumulating now, and we'll get those rolling here this year. If you haven't taken a moment, drive through our student parking lot. The senior parking spots turned out beautifully. Thankfully, our weather held up for us, and they were able to get through it this year. They were so creative. They actually had a really good time doing them. So take a drive through there and check those out if you haven't done so already. Our seniors are also putting together a Powder Puff football game. This kind of goes on every year. We want to do one, and then it fizzles, and we never have enough students to do it. So we're going to try one more time to put together a Powder Puff football game. We have a date. We have an advisor. Hopefully that'll all come to fruition this year. As Amanda said, we have an undefeated volleyball team, which is wonderful. I'm excited that Amanda's with us. She's the public relations officer for the senior class, so this is really good for her to be in front of everybody, and she panicked a little when she had to sit
And
there.
actually,
but it was nice to have her team here supporting her as well.
the volleyball beat, who'd they play this last?
Springfield.
And they were the undefeated team
as well.
so they actually beat the,
Two undefeateds, yeah, it was great. Our freshman orientation, I just wanted to point out, I thought this was fantastic. We hold that orientation every year during open house. We had all but 4 freshmen come this year. So we've never had turnout like that. We give out a folder to every freshman that evening. We only had 4 left the next morning. So that was really great for us. We were excited to have all of them here. I've held class meetings since we started school. The teachers always ask that I hold a class meeting. It's fun. I held my last one today with seniors, so I start with freshmen and go through. It's really fun to go through the progress of it. So my freshman meeting, of course, we kind of lay down the law, and this is high school now, and here's what's going on. By today, I was like, woohoo, seniors! We everything kind of laxes a little bit once they get to their senior year, because we're excited that they're seniors and that they've made it, and they're excited, and so it was fun having that meeting with them today. So those are all done. I do hold a new student meeting as well, so we have about 27 new students to the high school this year, which is a huge number, but we do a little kind of social get to know each other, recognize that we're all new, and that's a hard position to be in sometimes. So we did that last week. That was a great event too. Homecoming is next week already, so the football game is the 22nd, the dance is the 23rd. Tickets are already on sale. And the next thing real quick around the corner already is parent-teacher conferences on October 12th. So those are right around the corner. The other thing that I started this year are locker tags. So we have these little tags, and they have senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. I gave them away, one to each class as a trivia contest this week. And then my brain goes crazy, and I got a great idea to post it to Facebook and have parents purchase these. And the parent sends me a message for their student, and I write it on the back from the parent and then post it on their locker. So these are $2, so a parent can just buy this for $2, email me what they want on the back, I write it on there and put it on the student lockers. So that's on Facebook. If you want to pass that along, that would be great. We'd like to sell these and do a little fundraising. That's all I have. Any questions? Thanks.
no. The middle school update, Ms. Hutchinson?
First one.
No, this is our second.
Oh,
This is our second.
Okay, so we had a really successful start to the year. I'm very, very proud of where we are. Things seem to be going very smoothly. So I give all the credit to my staff, though. I told them at our staff meeting, I was sitting in my office and it was like silent because they were just doing what they were supposed to be doing. So it was awesome. We pick our first student of the week tomorrow, so I'm really excited to start recognizing them for their awesome things they do, and the teachers pick that, so we'll get to take a picture and blast them all over Facebook and everything, so that starts tomorrow. We set our date for the harvest dance. It's going to be October 27th. If you'd like to come join us for some dancing from 2:45 to 5. We had to find a new DJ, and I actually am just using the DJ from my wedding, so he has graciously accepted this position. So we'll be working with him to DJ for the middle schoolers. And Bonnie and I have been working on getting all the details worked out for that. We are doing our fall fundraiser rally. It's going to be magazines and cookie dough again. And one of the prizes this year, the students actually have an opportunity to go to the Quicken Loans Arena and do a tour. So they can win beats, they can go to Chipotle, or they can do the Quicken Loans Arena tour, which I think is really cool. And lunch, so I hope they like that. We have Spirit Week coming up, and it's in October. At the last day of Spirit Week, we're going to do our pep rally, and we're going to bring all our fall sports in and introduce them then, and do a game, and just make it a big event and recognize all our fall sports. I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but our own Gracie Abby, she's in 6th grade. I don't know if you've heard this. She got to do the CAV Student Reporter Contest tonight. She was one of 10 finalists. And so that actually I want to text her mom because it was at 4 o'clock. So she got to go try out for that tonight at the arena. So we're very proud of her. That's it.
Mr. Walker?
Good evening, guys. This is just a real quick overview of a couple of presentations that I gave to the teachers on our opening workday. This is in regards to our Disrupting Poverty in Ohio network, and there are a couple teachers, I'm going to forget someone, Tara Warner, Judy Benson, Elementary Secretary Tammy Kuntz, myself, Lauren Hutchinson, and our new school psychologist Phyllis Badgley, who are part of this team from Waterloo, and we're partnering with the Educational Service Center. They wrote a grant in the spring. I've explained this a couple times, but just giving you some more specifics about it. The districts in the grant include us and then North Olmsted, Orange, Wickliffe, Bedford, and Painesville. And what we are doing is just trying to identify and do some things regarding how to deal with poverty with its effects on students in school and education. In fact, our committee met today after school, and we decided on 3 of the strategies to target. If you look at those strategies on the slide, strategy number 2, establish a physically and emotionally safe environment. Strategy number 3, establish an accurate understanding of poverty. And if you turn it over on the next page, strategy number 8, develop a common understanding of excellent teaching and powerful learning. And so we will be taking some of the other initiatives that the district is doing, including our book study with the teachers and some professional development, staff meetings, and just our ongoing conversations and work in these areas to try to do what we can in those 3 strategies to disrupt the effects that poverty has on students and their learning. So that's the Disrupting Poverty in Ohio network. You're going to hear more about that as the school year goes on. Also, I'm the they call me the safety captain. That was kind of what we called Mr. Streeter the last couple of years, but I've assumed some of those responsibilities. And so I just wanted to point out our commitment to student safety at Waterloo is exceptional. We, like every school district, hold student safety and staff safety as our #1 priority. And so there are certain things that we have to do according to Ohio Revised Code and state law. We have to have a certain number of fire drills, a certain number of safety drills, a safety plan filed with the state of Ohio. We even give, in that safety plan, it even includes our cell phone numbers. Should something happen, the police or fire, they can get a hold of us personally if they need to. But we're working on those things. We don't announce our drills ahead of time, just to avoid, any problems with any bad guys getting that information and try to actually come into the school or mess with us during those things. But we take our safety very seriously. We don't let visitors into the building unless they have come to the office and get a visitor sticker. They have to sign in. We do those things just to keep everyone safe, and we're very vigilant about that. But I wanted to give you some of that information. Also, in regard to testing, our third grade students are actually going to be taking their first state test coming up at the end of October, on October 24th and 25th, and that's the third grade reading guarantee. That's the first test, that's the first opportunity that third grade students have to show their reading abilities and try to get a passing score on that. And in regard to testing, all of our state tests will be done on computers this year, as last year was the last year to have the paper and pencil option. We have some mixed feelings about that. I remember the last couple of years we had some debate about which would be better, which way to go, paper, pencil, computer, and I saw good arguments on both sides of that. We don't have that option anymore, so we're just going to forge ahead with computers. And I'm confident in our teachers. I'm confident in our teachers, our computer support people, our Mrs. Canale teaching a lot of these skills to the young kids, and I'm confident that we will excel again on the state test. Just some other random things. I just wanted to highlight some of our staff members, like our Title I teachers in the middle school. They were working 4 days a week, 5 days, I'm sorry, let me say that again. They were working 5 days a week, 4 hours per day in their schedule in the past, and that worked well with the block schedule that the middle school was running. Due to the schedule change this year, those teachers came to me a couple of weeks ago and said, Aaron, if we would change our hours, not increase our hours, we don't want an increase, but if we would change our hours, we could actually service more students if we just condensed to like 3 full days per week. And so we reviewed our options and everything, and we were able to make that change. So they're actually going to be able to see more kids on a regular basis, and that's something that came from them. So I commend them for working hard for our kids. We're also going to see a couple of new laptop carts in the district this year. We had some extra federal money that we were able to spend on those in the spring. And so I know that Matt Dockery is working on getting those ready for it. I think one might already be ready. But there's going to be 2 new carts, I believe, in the district. Also, elementary teachers are using Classroom Dojo. It's been neat to walk around the elementary in my new capacity and see all these things that Anthony was talking about the last couple of years. Classroom Dojo is a really cool program where students earn rewards and points and as they do good things throughout their day. We're also working on MobiMax. In fact, Lauren, I got to talk to you about the middle school MobiMax because I've been setting some things up with the vendor yesterday. But the elementary and middle school teachers, several of them, not all of them, but several are using this thing called MobiMax, which is like an online program that kids can get onto and do extra practice in their content area. So that's been a good thing, and we're going to keep pushing for that. Finally, I'll just point out that our Mighty Mites and JV and varsity football teams and cheerleaders have games coming up this Sunday at the youth ball fields in Atwater.
No, it's moved to the high school now.
Oh, it's here now. Okay. Old information from yesterday's schedule. Okay, so it's here. Okay, so that's at home. So if you have a chance, come out and support the little kids. And just some other things, like Lauren mentioned, our Student of the Week is starting out. Elementary fundraiser starts at the end of September, and I'm going to need like some extra Advil for my arms because I'm giving too many high fives these days. But it's good stuff. So anyway, that's the elementary report. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You know, the disrupting poverty is interesting because poverty is a much bigger problem than it seems like it's a much bigger problem than I ever realized, and I don't know if I've just been more aware of it here in the last year or two, but you know, like Mrs. Rock said, 41% of our students are on free and reduced lunch. Now maybe those are kids, we may not have 41% of our kids living in poverty, but we have a significant number of our kids living in poverty conditions. So I mean, that is a real issue for our kids, because if you're not, you can't learn unless you have a safe environment, and you have that support, so it's an excellent program.
And if the employees would humor me, when you're, hopefully tomorrow or maybe early next week, and the board too, you'll get an email from me about this survey. It's an anonymous survey. We're just trying to gauge some perceptions of poverty. So if you can fill that out for us, it'll help our little team dive in more into some data and try to make some more targeted plans for our school year.
Thank you. We'll go on to Maplewood.
I don't really have anything to report yet. Next month is too early, yeah. Just, I can let you know about the all boards dinner scheduled
yeah.
October 18th, Wednesday. I'm not definite on the time, maybe 6 p.m., but I can let you know next month and when I'll know more about back to school at Maplewood.
So you're saying what's on 6?
I think so.
That's the week of the, no, it isn't, never mind. I was thinking it's the capital conference, but it's not.
Legislative?
There's one currently pending education bill that's been up there for a while. It's about developmental disability and using helping them out in the classroom, but they still have yet to create a commission for them, so it'll be a while until it comes about. So.
Another piece of legislation too, Adam, is the attendance policy. We've been talking about that the last couple of days, and it would be nice maybe if we can get with Mr. Dunn to talk to him about that, so you can present that next month. It'd be kind of a good thing. You got the principals have been working on it. Well, actually, Laura's been working on it, and she's going to sit down with the other two and talk about, we've been talking about the changes that have been implemented and how we're going to address them as a district. So we'll be in touch soon.
Sounds good.
Okay.
New business? I don't have anything new.
This isn't new, it's just kind of a sad note, I guess, that
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Rick McCruskey, who had been a teacher at our school, passed away. Just what a tremendous person. He's one of those guys, if you met him, I remember meeting him through levies or the school activities, and he was just such a nice, warm, genuinely nice person. So really sad to see him go to community. He was active in the whole community and stuff. It's really sad to see him pass. I went to his services, and you learn something about somebody. He was an Army vet, Vietnam vet, and he had received the Bronze Star. So I'm not a military guy. I have a lot of respect for those that are, but Bronze Star is a pretty significant recognition. So
I was gonna say he was an amazing artist.
Yeah, right next to his cast.
He drew the picture next to his cast.
Yeah, I was blown away by that.
Yeah.
And we as a district came together and got almost $600, and we kind of talked about where that money should go. And so we're looking to do things for Diane, just like spa things that'll make her feel good. We're gonna get her a nice wind chime, some food and stuff. So the district came together very nicely. We're working. Pam and I are gonna.
If I can say something more about him, I thought he was a great guy. Not only was he was a vet and an awarded vet, great artist. I thought he was great for kids. Every time I talked to him, he was just consumed with helping kids. Kids were drawn to him. I was blown away when I say him. When I realized that this guy was in Vietnam and had lived this crazy, incredible life before becoming a teacher, where he was just here every day. In fact, he retired, supposedly retired. And then he was showing up every day to help tutor through friends of his that he was connected with. So he never did really give it up, but we're going to miss him. He was very good for kids and very good man.
Yeah, he actually, one of our levy campaigns years ago, he actually let somebody who raffled off the ability to pie him at a football game. I don't know if just a great person. That was all I had.
Any other new business? Then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions, comments on the consent agenda? No? No, Ken? No, Brian?
Nope.
You good? All right. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Ken second that Brian motion. Roll call?
Terry,
Yes.
Fletcher,
Yes.
Gump,
Yes.
Whittlesey,
Yes.
Brock.
Yes. And then I'm going to make a motion, can I I know we voted on it, but I wanted to make, because I had a couple people call me real quick on the, nothing's changing on the vote, on the basketball, that the girls that I had come off because we weren't gonna do supplementals for the team, the coach brought them back, but split the stipend, in case anybody asked why that's what he did. He ended up just splitting the stipend in between them instead of giving them each their own individuals. Then can I get a motion for executive session?
So moved.
I'll second it. And that'll adjourn our meeting. We're not gonna come out with anything from the executive. At 7:16.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, can I get a roll call?
Gump,
Yes.
Brock,
Yes.
Fletcher,
Yes.
Whittlesey,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
You're good to get up, Jeff.